You Sagittarius are surrendering control. You have the Queen of Swords, okay? You're ready for anything. You would be ready for anything, right? The Ace of Swords. But now, even though you're ready for anything, you realize that part of that readiness is about you, Sagittarius, actually learning how to not see what it is that you want to see in a person, right? It has to match it has to match the objectivity. It has to match outwardly as it matches inwardly, right? So you can see that a person has some form of value and they're great people, but however, when you interact with them and it doesn't show that, if through experience you know for a fact that they're disrespectful, a lot of you Sagittarius are looking at it for what it is. And you're realizing that that may not necessarily be the best person for you to actually interact with. The Chariot represents, and another thing too that a lot of you Sagittarius are choosing to do better from now on is that a lot of you Sagittarius are going to actually start to ask people some more questions. You know, a lot of times, you know, Sagittarius, and I know a lot of Sagittarius in real life, off camera, my brother's a Sagittarius. And the thing about it is, well, one of them, the thing about it is that sometimes Sagittarius, a lot of y'all can rush yourselves into relationships, into dysfunctional relationships, right? That you don't necessarily know that they're dysfunctional, because if you knew that they were, more than likely you probably wouldn't have been in them in the first place. But a lot of you Sagittarius will find yourself being in a dysfunctional relationship. So the thing about it is that the Chariot is really about how you Sagittarius are becoming more wise with how it is that you choose, because it's now more so about how you Sagittarius will actually ask some questions, find out a little bit more about the person before you make a decision on whether you like them or not. The Six of Wands, however, the Six of Wands represents, and if it's not necessarily somebody that you're on the same page with, you'll leave, right? Respectfully. It's not like you'll be disrespectful on your way out. You'll leave, but as long as it's a respectful leave. And you would hope, right? This is within you Sagittarius's own best wishes, right? Best wishes that you do not separate from somebody dysfunctionally, right? You still want to be able to still be cool with them, even though you just don't necessarily want to talk to them romantically anymore. That's what, so if you do separate, you want it to be like that, right? It's not anything too crazy. Otherwise, you got to ghost them. You got to leave. The Queen of Cups represents how a lot of you Sagittarius are very much so having fun with your own life, like it is that I was talking about. Very much so having fun and enjoying how things are very much so going on, and things are just amazing as far as, you know, a lot of things in your life has been cleared up. A lot of things when it comes to health, a lot of things when it comes to finances, especially when it comes to the matters of the heart, your own feelings, your own emotions, right? So the Queen of Cups represents you, Sagittarius, not only allowing it, like I said, not only allowing things to play out the way that they should, the way that they need to play out, but also being in a position where the Queen of Cups is about you, Sagittarius, enjoying the process as well. So it's not just about putting the pressure on yourself to go after only, you know, make a right decision now. Look, the reality of the situation is this here, Sagittarius. When you become more well-rounded, when you learn to fix your own problems in your own heart, right? Your own traumas, when you do that shadow work, right? You get in touch with the dark side, dark night of soul, whatever you want to call it, you'll be able to choose better. And the Devil represents, you know, obviously this is a Sagittarius thing, but this is a people thing in general. You know, not allowing yourself to have those same limitations that you once did. outwardly, as far as when people try to destroy or disrespect your own self-image, but also, even more importantly, internally, where you Sagittarius are in a position where you, my dog over there, when you Sagittarius are in a position where you see yourself poorly. So your whole self-image has changed. A lot of you Sagittarius, your whole self-image has changed, and you're not going to put up with people trying to disrespect your own self-image, right? You know, we've already covered learning how to humble yourself, but your real self-image and the delusion are two distinct different things. And the Empress represents, you will let those people go, and you realize that you'll be better off for it. You'll be better off for it, because the Empress is very much so about not just dubbing people, letting people go, Sagittarius, but it's also about learning how to be okay with it and understand why you let them go. So the thing is that the Nine of Swords now represents how this is a situation, and where you're becoming a person that's dealt with your own personal trauma. So even if people were to come back, you Sagittarius are starting to understand that even if they try to come back, it's okay, because it does not mean that you Sagittarius ultimately have to come back to them and make something work and the two of you are going to get back together, because there's not even a temptation for you there. The Knight of Wands represents you're ready to move forward. You are not revisiting exes. You're not going back to exes. You're not. Even if an ex were to come back, you Sagittarius wouldn't even be tempted to go back, because no matter how great they are, that's something that is put behind you, you know. And the King of Wands now represents how, and because of this new perception, the way that you see the world, what's in your heart now, because you have this like I said, this perception of the world. Now a lot of you Sagittarius realize that you're better off for it. You're in better health. You're in better mental health. You're in better physical health, because you have this new self-image, right? The internal self-talk is way better. All right, so let's clarify the King of Wands. So to clarify the King of Wands, you have the World, the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Wands, the Lovers, Gemini, opposite sign of Sagittarius. Yes, the World represents, this is a brand new time for you. You're looking at the world with a fresh new pair of eyes now. A different perspective. You Sagittarius realize that, like I said, you're in better mental health, physical health, financial health. You're just better overall. And a lot of you Sagittarius realize it's about maintaining that and doing better. So not only is it about plateauing, but it's also about growth on top of that plateauing. Staying at a certain level for a little while, then growing. Staying at a certain level for a little while, then growing. And then you have the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Wands. This idea of a relationship that didn't necessarily work out, trying to be rekindled. A lot of you Sagittarius realize that that's not going to work. You've put the past behind you, and that's where it's staying. And then you have the Lovers. If love is for you, it's going to come to you, and it's going to generate itself organically. You will have to interact with them, and the interactions between the two of you will ultimately be, like I said, organic, but also it'll work. It'll be free flowing. The two of you won't have to force something that ultimately you know doesn't really work quite well. It'll more so be something where the two of you are willing to actually work with each other. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Peace. Appreciate it.